Alright, I think y'all should be able to hear me now, correct? Sweet. Alright. Then, yeah, I guess, I, it was kind of annoying. I had everything set up earlier today to do camera stuff and to be able to, like, actually, y'all were able to see me, but I plugged in my camera and then it wanted to update and then it wouldn't connect to OBS for some reason. So, couldn't figure that out, but I just figured I'll talk to you guys and we can look through some edits or talk through some ideas and whatnot. But sorry if you're missing that personal element. That I'll figure it out. You know, I'm trying. So yeah, y'all, if y'all think of questions, throw them in the chat, and I'm happy to go ahead and answer. But yeah, I'll just talk a little bit about why I haven't been posting and where I've been for a hot minute. Let's see. I have some big changes coming up in my personal life that I've wanted to do for a very long time. So I've kind of doubled down on trying to join the VFX industry and working on my reel. I've shown off some of my like VFX in the past, like for example, in this Revenge of the Sith edit. I think it's right here. Oh no, this is a work in progress thing that I can show you guys, but yeah, this is one that I want to get done, but everyone's still frozen. They're a little stuck. But it'll be adding like Mace Windu's characters to, or Mace Windu's battalion from the Clone Wars and from Legends, adding that legion to the hangar bay. But yeah, I've been trying to really double down on learning the ins and outs of VFX, colors and light, just everything I can. And because of this study, I've been kind of neglecting the Star Wars re-edit side of my life, which, you know, that's kind of unfair. You guys have subscribed. I've made some promises and whatnot that I need to follow through on. And yeah, we're gonna go through, and I want to kind of give a good place where some of the edits are at and kind of give a good idea of where we are at so that there's no vagueness anymore. So Prism asks, is this covering Revenge of the Sith or all edits? I figured this first stream would be less structured than maybe others, where I'll just kind of go over all the edits that I'm working on and kind of how I'm planning on going about certain things. This edit was actually just a quick idea to turn the ship that Anakin like flies in towards the end after he loses his yellow starfighter to be Ahsoka's instead of just being like a green one. How's the Wolf edit? We can look at Wolf. Wolf is going really well, but he is I'm struggling a little bit with some of his animations and making sure the atmosphere is right. We can look at Wolf specifically. It's actually not in this project, but if I go to his project, we can see it. All right. So, for those of you who don't know, one of my main goals is adding Commander Wolf to Revenge of the Sith in a way where he is like getting to kind of watch and see the death of Plo Koon. So the idea here is that Plo Koon would crash into the Nemoidian sky, of like Cato Nemoidia, but then he would be able to react. This is very laggy, because it's still in an image sequence. I guess it's not that laggy, but we can see it kind of falls apart a little bit. I think the scene looks really, really beautiful. I think it's in a really good spot, but not a completed spot yet. We can see some clear glitches if we go back. One of the glitches here is just he fires out of his pistol, but then the blaster bolt is like 2 inches to the left. And that's a really easy fix. It's just a fix that I haven't done yet, and it kind of requires sometimes seeing the final version to know that it's a problem. I'm getting better at this side of the world, and all of these characters were motion captured too. That was my first time using actual like a motion capture suit to get this kind of data, so this took a little longer too because I had to really figure out how to use this technology. It was just new to me. There's some other small things that people on the Discord have pointed out, that the wolf pack icon here should actually be on his other shoulder. So I'll need to get that flipped. Or maybe, wait. Is it on the wrong shoulder there? So you see where it flips? Yeah, okay, so it is on the wrong shoulder. The Wolfpack logo should be on the other shoulder, I think. But one other thing is, you see how it flips right here? This is an older version of the render, so this is what it'll look like, because this one has things like fire in the background, and it has atmosphere and smoke, and it's just got these extra layers, and then all of that kind of goes away. There's also a problem in this one where like this clone trooper's butt is floating up, so that'll need to get cleaned up. I'll make a whole video, I think, on the work in progress of the wolf shot, just because I think it's been a really fun learning curve to learn how to do mocap and whatnot. But I do want to get y'all's opinion real quick on what you think I should do with it, or if you like the scene, I should say, because we go from here and then the glow of Plo Koon's explosion followed by his immediate reaction, kind of a thing, and then we would just continue on with Revenge of the Sith, Order 66 sequence. In this specific scene, I don't believe there is a Z95. I have some ARC 170s in the background, but I do have a Z95 3D model that we could add. That wouldn't be a problem at all. So Prism asks, out of curiosity, will this scene be intercut with Plo Koon crashing, or that scene, then he hears it later? I think the way it'll work is we will see Plo Koon crash, and I might have to cut it by just a few frames to really make it impactful. And then we would go to this scene where I might even have to cut this scene just to make it might have to land right here. The reason I have this is because I really want to give myself that extra room, and I can put it in the Revenge of the Sith edit, just the way it is. Even with glitches and all, and we can find out how that works. So not order 66. A lot of these are just like little tiny cuts because I actually haven't cut this film. I just keep doing VFX things to it. Like here's Boyle. So that was order 66. Are you saying, so the Chosen One edits asks, it'd be funny, or says, it'd be funny if you see a battle droid getting shot in the background. Are you talking for the Plo Koon shot? I'm sorry, for the wolf shot? Let me add this here. Prism asks if the Revenge of the Sith estimated final runtime. Oh, I don't know. Whatever it ends up being. The Chosen One edit says, yeah, the wolf shot. So, yeah, I think I should probably add some battle droid animation. My thinking was that the battle droids would be pushed back so far that I wouldn't have to worry about them. But the more I look at the scene, the more I'm like, having that extra element of a battle droid would probably go a long way. Alright. Let's see, though. If we were to have him crash, or I wonder if we did this. Oh, I put it in here already. My previs. I totally forgot I did this. Let's see. Because I'm going to add my shot real quick. Yeah, I think I totally forgot I did, because this was the previs idea I had, where he just kind of flips around. I wonder. Yeah, maybe I was gonna intercut it like that. Totally forgot about this. Here, I'm gonna watch this one more time. We can figure out how I want to cut this real quick. Alright. Yeah, I think that works, especially close up on the same style of helmet between these two. Let's try and take my new version and do the same thing, and then if we need to walk it back, we can. Alright, so we'll start here, and then we'll cut there where the crash is. My fear is that this might be a little too long, but we will see. At least it gives us a really good idea for how this is going to end up in the final. So then, since I still have a lot more to do on the wolf shot, this can give us some really good notes moving forward. All right, let's see. Let's go from here. It might be too long. Yeah, that might be a little too long. Alright, well let's just play with this for a little bit. I mean, unless you guys have more questions or whatever. I can answer any questions as I go. Let's see. I think we should probably start this. We should probably cut this one in half. There's 3 Plo Koon explosions. Yeah, exactly. I wonder if we could cut that down to like this one. Oh, what if we did this? And then I could keep the whole thing. So we got just a little more time with Wolf, and this didn't feel rushed. Yeah. Because I think this should be the same. Yeah, I just cut it right where it meets. Okay, so now it should be Plo Koon explodes. Oh, we have this shot here that kind of ruins it. Can we make this one long take, I wonder, of the explosion? Or does it cut? We will have to see. Oh, wow. Wait, was that me? No, that was in the original edit. So the original editor, that's really fortuitous. Let's see, because the original editor let Plo impact the tower, then he cut to an interior shot, then he finishes it. We line it up here to cut the interior and make it one long take, and the cut is invisible. So now let's see if we can get away with this. This clip, it might be too long still, but Plo is gonna be shot down, and then he's crashing, and then we get this interior. Yeah, I still feel like this is way too long. Let's cut that one in half. I mean, music will also play a big part of this, and I'm not playing any music for copyright reasons, but I think a visual flow is still important to nail down. Oh man, I think that works. Okay. I'm satisfied with this, and then we would just continue on with Revenge of the Sith as is. Here, we'll watch it. Let's watch it one more time to make sure we have it down. Yeah, I think that works. Cool. I might. So, Ignacio Rodriguez says maybe before Jag shoots, you can put some wolf so his appearance isn't so sudden. Yeah, I could do that. I just before Jag shoots, so it would be before this scene, because Jag shoots immediately after this. I could rewrite the scene. I have all the models and stuff, but it would have to be like, if I did that where we introduce Wolf here early on, it would have to be like Wolf fighting on the bridge and then looking up and seeing the battle happen. I feel lighting whiplash going light environment with Wolf, then very dark and moody troops riding. I mean, yeah, but that's the same lighting whiplash you had before. So, I don't... That fire in the background is going crazy. That's on a wrong timer. I could make it a little darker, but this whole scene is a montage, so I'm not really... I don't know if there's gonna be... Oh. Is my alarm going off? Yeah, the whole scene is a montage with different lightings. Like, here's very diffused top-down lighting, and the shot before that is very dreamy sunset purple lighting. And then if we go even before that, like, we have bright midday, and then we also have like nighttime at the Jedi Temple before all of this. So the whole sequence has light. I don't necessarily see that as a problem. Yeah. Then we have nighttime interior shots. I think we're good. Yeah, I think now would probably be a good time. Oh, hello there. I am Flame. Nice to see you. I think now would probably be a good time to go through all the different edits and kind of see where they're at, what's happening. I think streams are probably the best place to handle that, just because I can ramble and I don't have to like I can walk back sentences and whatnot. So I think we'll just go in chronological order, starting with the Phantom Menace. And hopefully next time I can get my camera working. Uh-oh. That's offline. Oh, that's why. So, probably going to start it off with the new crawl. Looks like all of this stuff got offlined, but that's fine. It's whatever. Oh, just the audio then. But I don't know if you've seen this short film. It's a really, really good short film. I can't remember who did it. I'll add their credits to the description here, but it's just an epic battle between Darth Maul and Jedi to start off the movie. There's a lot of inconsistencies here. Obviously, this is not Ray Park. The lightsaber handles aren't the same. And I'm thinking about cutting it entirely, but I had to try and cut it into the film for my own sanity's sake to see if it would work as a cold open to the dark side before we go into the Naboo stuff. I guess if I go edit by edit, we'll never make it through all 9 films. So I should probably keep it more broad and just scrub through with things I want to do. I think I really want to tighten up some of this early scene. Don't know how exactly, but that'd be nice. going through and trying to add like a glow up and kind of make these feel a little more modern throughout I think that could be really beneficial. Cutting a lot of Jar Jar stuff, as much as he can be a background character. That isn't to say I want him completely like just destroyed or gone completely. Oh, thanks. Let's see. Yeah, there's things like the planet core scene that I kind of want to fix up and make it a little creepier. I don't know if y'all ever heard of this? It's called like thalassophobia. Yeah. I always get it confused with anididophobia, which anididophobia is like the fear that somewhere somehow you're being watched by a duck. You can Google it. That's a thing apparently. But thalassophobia is like the fear of the super deep dark ocean. And I was thinking with some of these creatures, because they go through the dark planet core, what if I were to retouch up some of these or add reframe some of these sequences to be like darker and creepier, with trying to attribute more of that deep underwater fogginess, whereas these don't necessarily have that as much. To kind of like, if this were real life, this wouldn't be the bottom of the ocean. That's way too much light coming in to be the bottom of the ocean. We can see way, way too clearly. Like, everything is just crystal clear water. And, there's always an argument that maybe that's just Naboo, and that's how Naboo works. But, just use the Jaws music. That would be funny. But, yeah, adding in that depth could go a long way. And I think I even have some ideas on how to do that using VFX without like remaking scenes, and without having to like that would still look very realistic, to add a fog effect using actually AI and having like making a depth map. And I say AI, but actually it's in DaVinci Resolve right now, because you can do a relight node and apply that. Yeah, something like this applies like this fake light, but I don't want no, nothing like that. Yes, surface map. So this isn't necessarily doing the best job at it, but you can see how it kind of creates a 3D thing here or like a depth map here. I can apply this as like a fog layer or something like that, and just kind of tweak this depth a little bit more, make it feel a little better. I guess I am getting distracted going into the nitty-gritty again. But I think this scene lasts way too long. Probably clean that up. One big edit I want to do is just put Naboo and make it on fire. I've actually already played with that idea with this shot here, where in the original, if we look at the original here, it's just like, it's a peaceful invasion, if that is a thing. But in mine, I definitely want to make it feel like things are on fire and the things are being bombed. And when the C.O. Bibble later in the film says like the death toll is catastrophic, and Obi-Wan's like, don't believe him, like the audience would be like, I don't know, man, that city was on fire. So it could just add a lot more tension and a lot more relevance to get back to Naboo as quickly as possible. Let's see. Small thing if you didn't know it, but the plug for her dress is right there. I'll probably just paint that out because I see it and it takes me out every time. But if it doesn't for you, it's right there. That's how they powered these globes. So, yeah. Probably try and treat up just another round of compositing on some of these shots that just don't necessarily pass the sniff test in 2025. This was in my glow up video where I did like a bunch of glow up stuff. So that if you check out that video, it'll have a good idea of what I'm going to be pushing forward for like a lot of the fight scenes and stuff. And in terms of structure changes, I think the structure will stay a lot the same. There is one big CGI scene I do want to add because I think this is really silly. My buddy Matt and I were talking. So these guys are saved by the Queen, or by the Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. And we can look. They're soldiers. They look like mechanics. But I think there's some pilots in there. That guy looks like a pilot. If not, I think those guys in the back are... Yeah, those are definitely pilots. Okay, so we have some pilots aboard that were captured by the droids, and Qui-Gon saves them. And we have the Queen, who has to be escorted off planet, right? So the pilots just are like, oh yeah, Queen, you got this. Go for it. If these are true Royal Guard pilots, or if they're even a volunteer force, shouldn't we be getting in the ships over here to, like, I don't know, escort the Queen and help her with the evacuation to go to Coruscant? I don't even need these to necessarily be named pilots, but like we could add a little more devastation, kind of that Rogue One-esque of like, oh wow, look how many people it took to get them out of here. Is we could have some N1 starfighters escorting the Queen's ship, and they are getting attacked too, and they are blowing up. So it's not just like this thing where they barely make it out. It's the sacrifice of the Naboo people would really, really help. So that'll be a whole sequence that has to be added. I definitely want to fix Qui-Gon's story arc. I don't fully know how I want to. And by fix his story arc, I mean like try and give him one where maybe it feels like he's being challenged more, because he's the closest thing I think we have to a main character, because there's no really classical main character in this. Okay. I have I have a little under an hour left with you guys, so I'm going to kind of speed it up a bit. Pod racing, probably some visual upgrades. I'll probably add some deleted scenes, but if they look too bad, then I won't add them. Jar Jar stuff throughout. What is this? Oh, this looks like a deleted scene I added. But let's see. Yeah, just adding these flags. I don't know why shots like that were ultimately cut. I think that's so cool. Next is, just doing some, I think I mentioned this in my glow up video, but I didn't actually show it, where I added a bunch of heat distortions and trying to elevate just the kind of gravity of the heat, and kind of allow the audience to feel what it might be like for Anakin to be in that seat, and how uncomfortable that would probably be. Because like later in the film, he talks about being really, really cold, which is such a good observation. Um, that, you know, he grew up on a really hot planet, and even the normal air conditioning of a ship would be like freezing to him. So kind of using some VFX to, you know, maybe share that a little bit more. Let's see. I'm thinking about adding in the Greedo deleted scene, but also it's kind of cheesy. I don't know. This scene really helps fix why Qui-Gon and Anakin are running, so gonna add that. It's also kind of dastardly that Maul is just like, oh, there's a kid, I better run him over. Probably war. I don't necessarily know how I'm gonna finish it, but I'm gonna keep pushing that along. Next is Attack of the Clones. Wait for it to load. So one of the things I'm gonna do is I actually built Attack of the Clones wrong from the ground up, which is kind of annoying. But, you know, it happens, where I used my proxy version instead of my foundational version for... It just isn't as high as quality. Keep the Greedo fight, but remove the part where they actually confirm his name is Greedo, and just leave him as a random kid. That could work. I don't mind that at all. Like, he can still be Greedo, like, as a headcanon, but that was the part that always got me, where the kids talk at the end, where it's like, don't get in a fight, you can't win, or whatever. It's like, don't hit first, and it's just such a cheeky nod. I better read some of these. Oh yeah, back to Co Bibble, when when he says that the death toll is catastrophic, instead of him saying it's a trick, just be like, cut that line and have no reply. I like that. Yeah. Let's see. All right. Attack of the Clones. I've done quite a bit. You can see as far as like organization and like figuring out where scenes go. I haven't done a ton to this film, so if we go through, there's actually more done to the Phantom Menace, even though this one looks a lot farther, and I just said I did more. So we'll walk back some of those statements. The biggest thing I've done is the duel at the end, fixing this up. I think it could also use a similar like glow up to the Phantom Menace. But I need to think more about Attack of the Clones before I kind of give a full like ideas and stuff. One of the biggest things that I know I want to tackle is just adding in deleted scenes. There are some pivotal deleted scenes. That's a weird face to land on. We'll try that one. Oh, that's worse. We'll try that one. Yes. So yeah, some of my main things is I want to try and how do I put this? Yeah, okay. So I want people to buy Anakin and Padme's love story. So, and if that's the case, we don't have to convince people that Anakin loves Padme. That's clearly a thing. I think this edit would be trying to convince people that Padme could fall for Anakin. Now, what that means is, what a lot of other fan edits have done, is make Anakin less whiny and stuff. There's going to be tons of other fan edits that I look to fix this. In terms of VFX scenes, I want to add cameos. I think clone commandos should be in here as shameless cameos. I think Rex could be in here as a shameless cameo. Who else? I know there's more. I just can't think of it. Anyways, doing some graphical stuff. Is graphical a word? I don't know. But doing things like what I showed off in my one YouTube video. Let's see. I know I want to add, so there is a little bit of what's known as Deus Ex Machina when the good guys are stuck and no one's going to save them. So, but instead of saving themselves, the hand of God interferes, which is what Deus Ex Machina means. And literally, they come from the sky to save them. The reason I say kind of is I think it technically isn't Deus Ex Machina here because most of the film set up the clone troopers. Most of them kind of set up that these guys were coming all along. So, but I do think it would be really cool if we got maybe during this battle or during the scene where they're all trapped up here, we could get shots of Republic Venators or Republic ships coming out of hyperspace and having a blockade run by the gunships and by the clones. Basically, show they didn't just show up, especially because it's kind of weird because they have all of these giant ships coming in and then all of the separatist launch. So by the end, let's see, not here, where is it? It's when Dooku escapes. Yeah, Dooku escapes and there's a massive battle going on on the planet, but in space it seems like the separatists are just chill. So maybe something bad going on out here could be really, really helpful. Felix M asks, are you going to add the scene with Anakin meeting Padme's family? Yes, I think that has to be in the edit to ultimately to add that relationship where Padme thinks that or that the audience can get a clue that Padme likes Anakin. That just has to be in it. So I think a lot of cuts on Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationship, Anakin and Padme's relationship need to happen. There wouldn't be a whole new VFX scene, but some VFX shots to kind of give the clones a little more of a starting point into the battle, and then shameless cameos. Because if there's one thing I want my edits to be known for, it is shameless cameos. Alright, we can now look at Revenge of the Sith. Which, I guess we kind of already did a little bit, but we'll just do some more. Let's see. There are some edits I can't show because I've made promises to friends. Oh, This one, we can't really hear it because of the audio, but yeah, I totally made their voices sound like Clone Wars. Oh, this kind of relates to Attack of the Clones, because I want to add a tactical droid to the bridge of the Invisible Hand. I think replacing this Nemoidian character that's on the bridge, wherever he is, not fully, but there's this Nemoidian character right here. This guy, he kind of deals out orders on the bridge, and I was thinking, oh man, it'd be so cool if this was a like tactical droid, and that there would be a tactical droid on the bridge, and maybe we take a couple of his lines away and give it to the tactical droid. Ultimately, both would still be in the edit. Oh, what's up, Allie? How are you, man? Yeah, these are the two spaces I think I would have them. Maybe we would have this droid replaced. There's another scene. Yeah, I would have to add him to this wide shot. But there's a scene where Anakin cuts off a droid's head. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, right here. And I was like, this would be perfect for the tactical droid as well. Because, like, Anakin would be, like, a good enough soldier to know, oh, I got to take off their head. Just like we saw him do in the Clone Wars, maybe just a few hours before this battle. Let's see. I think that's the edit I have to skip. Allie knows what I'm talking about. This scene would be a shot. I think this would be a hard clip to track, but ultimately if I could add like clone commandos here, that would be cool. Specifically the ones from the video game, not just like background clone commandos. This already has an edit. I don't remember his name, but someone pointed out that this guy's hair, if turned yellow, could look like a one clone from the Clone Wars. So that's done, but yeah, kind of looks awkward. But if it looks like someone, then it counts. Let's see. Moving on, we have the 187th that I'm planning on adding. And whenever I made the video with Fox and the Wolfpack clone, I asked for recommendations, and I have so many recommendations that to go through. Oh, good. This is offline. That's great. So there are some that I know I want to do that are just not coming to my mind right now. Oh, I added Apo to Anakin's right here, so he could literally be Anakin's right-hand man as they go up the steps. Just a little thing in the background so that character is a little consistent. We kind of went through this. We'll be adding actually kind of like 3 clones, because there's one clone pilot that I want to add named Warthog to this scene as well. Might drag out this scene a little bit, but I think that's kind of like what my Revenge of the Sith would be, is just a ton of cameos. And it would not be what you would show someone for their first watch through, mainly because I think it would be very distracting. But if someone watched all the Clone Wars and then watched this version of Revenge of the Sith, that might be really, really rewarding and heartbreaking. And then, yes, we would have our Wolf Pack, or our Commander Wolf shots. I think there's some other Order 66 stuff I want to get done. Oh yeah, there's definitely some Order 66 stuff I want to get done here, hopefully adding some temple guards. I think that would be really, really cool. And I think it would be really cool to add some temple guards that are right outside, like, this door. even if it's super subtle in the background, just to show that like these kids weren't alone, you know, that had like some level of protection. I think that could be really emotionally devastating, which is what we want, I think. Apo, Boyle, Ahsoka's starfighter here. Yeah. So we'll get Ahsoka starfighter. Obviously, that one's not done, so some of the clips are not done. Fox in the Senate, which I think I will choose Fox over Thyre, but honestly, they both work. Like whoever, like if someone else takes that clip. Yeah, Allie, I need to show you that one. It's a pretty good work in progress. Allie just asked if I added the wolf shot, but yeah. Earlier we kind of went through the whole thing. Let's see. Next is, what is this? Oh yeah, y'all would love to see this one. I haven't even shown this one yet. Yeah, Commandos. I think I'll make a full video on this. So this might be a little redundant, but I kind of want to break down the process and some of the ideas. But seeing how important the Commandos were and the Bad Batch for like experimentation and like high levels of the Empire made me think, oh, they belong here. So the idea would be that they escort Vader. Kind of hesitant to show the full animation because I can just I'll make a video on this and I'll post it very soon, like February soon, next month soon. Next would be this, whatever this is. Oh, yeah, we showed these off where we're adding the TK troopers just to the side here. I don't know if I'll keep them. I do have them. I think I would probably put that to a vote on the Discord. I think that it would probably work really, really well as a vote on the Discord. Because, like, I don't know if the Empire is there yet, but there's also some kind of ambiguous timeline here. So, we'll see. There is one other idea I had that I think could be really cool, because one of the coolest ideas that they've done in the comics is they turned the Jedi Temple into Vader's they turned the Jedi Temple into Palpatine's castle, right? And oh man, that's just so cool. So what if we got to see like flags rolling down the Jedi Temple, so that the audience kind of got an idea that Palpatine was claiming the Jedi Temple as an Imperial temple, like that's mine now, you know, kind of something like that. And we could see these gray Venators in the sky, and then the gray Venators would enter hyperspace. Then we would see them exit hyperspace, and then we would get this shot, so that there's a little bit of like continuity. Oh yeah, the Imperial Palace was also in Jedi Survivor. Yeah, that'll be really good reference for me. I know there's definitely some more ideas, but those are the main things I'm trying to tackle for Revenge of the Sith. I think for the next three, we can more or less do from a glance, because they don't need much work at all. You know, they're the original trilogy, so I'll open them up so that we can have them. But yeah, you can see that A New Hope doesn't... There's just nothing here. Oh, would it be possible? So Craig's Corner asks, would it be possible to allude that the Death Star is being built near Geonosis? Um, yeah, I think that would be a really great idea because in the Tarkin novel, along and I believe it's the prequel to Rogue One. Um, Forget its name, but it 100% says that the the Death Star was built above Geonosis. So yeah, we should definitely put the Death Star above Geonosis. I'll Let's see. For A New Hope, I think the biggest things I want to do to this film is just add references to the prequels and to the new Disney stuff. Felix M asks, "Why is the Trooper's pauldron blue?" And to that, I have no idea what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, but that's an edit for a friend that I'm working on. So the fact that it opened to it was like a little bit of an oopsie. So we're just gonna move on. But you'll probably see that soon. It's not like too crazy. That the trooper with the blue pauldron is kind of like the whole idea, but not the whole idea. Yeah. Um. Let's see. Where was? Oh yeah. So some of the things I want to do is add things like, I believe it was Obi-Wan who added like a battle droid head to the Sand Trooper. I think any kind of placement where we can reference to the prequels, whether it's in Obi-Wan's hut, seeing Qui-Gon's lightsaber, stuff like that, I think could go a really, really long way. My only thing is I don't want to be obnoxious with this. My Revenge of the Sith, like, cameos, I'm not worried about, like, overdoing it. I think people love that movie to death, and if you can get another one around it, whereas this film is more sacred, so if I add things unnecessarily, or like too unnecessarily, because all my additions are technically unnecessary. It's a great movie. George didn't even need to touch it again. Like, it was fine. But because we can, and because we think it's fun, probably things to the prequels, and then also the new Disney canon. I want to add Death Troopers to the Death Star. I think seeing K2 droids walking around would be so cool. Yeah, if y'all have any ideas, there's some really beautiful VFX work that people have done on YouTube of like really cool shots to the final battle above the Death Star. Yeah, I think if we were to include some of those really, really cool shots, it could elevate the final battle. Oh, excuse me there. Or if not elevate it, just give a new taste for people who have probably seen this movie a bajillion times. Now the final battle is slightly different. So there you go. There will be some kookier stuff like scene, what is it? Scene 38 that was made by some really, really talented people. Like, so many people have seen this. I'm trying to take it and actually ruin it, if you will, because I'm trying to cut it down. I'm trying to remove some of the more dramatic shots, but this is definitely a way better lightsaber duel than the original with the context of the current canon. But it does have a big like flavor change in terms of like how the movies feel, like the push-ins and the pans and the tilts. So some things, like if I can remove a push-in, right? So if like this is a really cool push-in. I mean, I think there's too much parallax that I wouldn't be able to do it here, but things like just restructuring this fight to where it actually feels like it could be in the movie from the original would be great. I would not show this edit of A New Hope to someone seeing Star Wars for the first time. I would just not recommend it. I would show this to someone who has seen Star Wars a bajillion times and it's like, have you seen this Star Wars with a bunch of frosting and sprinkles on it? I have Star Wars with frosting and sprinkles on it. That's what this Star Wars is. Episode 5 would be very much the same. Anytime for new VFX. I don't actually have a ton of ideas for episode 5. The only one I even have on the server, on the Discord right now, is one where we do like add some new shots of X-Wings and Y-Wings to the Battle of the Hoth, just to be like, yeah, they were there. Because we know they were there due to like the Battlefront games, the novelizations, stuff like that. But just to kind of like show the audience and just make that battle bigger would be kind of cool. And to show that the Rebel Alliance was so overwhelmed in multiple directions that Y-Wings and X-Wings could not contribute to the Walker battle, and that air speeders were the only option there. The idea being that the Y-Wing can take out a Walker. When Luke says, like, those shields are too strong for blaster fire, yes, but that's for air speeders, if I understand that correctly. Let's see. Return of the Jedi. I've actually made a lot of edits on this, including like cameos from the Ghost. This is probably one of the best shots I've married into a scene, and I think it's because it's a matte painting, and that just made adding my version of the Ghost into this pretty easily. Y'all voted on what shots made it in, so those are placed. Cutting out Jedi rocks, don't need that. I'm thinking about playing with like Boba Fett's death and how Boba like falls into the pit, and if there's anything I should do there. But I'm also kind of like, I don't mind that he's like, that it's a little sillier. I think this scene, yeah, cutting out Jedi rocks, good idea. I don't really know what to do. Oh, there was one editor I found on YouTube that actually removed Luke's force kick. So now there's actually like a physical contact, and I just added that in. I'll put him in the description as well. I'll probably get to that in the next day or so, so it should be added. Oh, this was a quick, simple edit I did that I liked. Is this Weequay was like wearing a rebel garb, or a rebel like jacket that we see later that they wear on like Endor. I think it was just, they just threw this guy together, right? So I was like, let's make his shirt red. That way it's 1000% indistinguishable. I think I will keep the CGI beak and whatnot. I think that's fine. Oh, towards the end of Return of the Jedi, I really want to do this. This is something that I am very passionate about, and it's really nerdy. But it is the backgrounds in Return of the Jedi. Let's see, do I have these? I don't think I do, but I might be able to show an example of what I mean. Yeah, these are just all the new Hope, or all the new Ghost stuff. Let me find a good shot of what I mean, and I can do a really quick edit of it. Because it would essentially be like a glow up for yeah, this shot doesn't really work. Where's a good shot that'll work? Why can't I find this? If I can't find it really soon, I'll give up. But yeah, it would be the equivalent of a glow up for the like old VFX whatnot. Okay, I guess this is an okay shot. But basically, where we see Palpatine we can see that, like, if we zoom in very, very closely, all of these shots are kind of fuzzy, but then these stars are like super duper sharp. So just trying to like clean up by cutting out every window and then adding like some blur to have these stars like turn into ovals like they do in The Mandalorian, which is called bokeh. Doing that kind of effect can go a long, long way to like this is what it should be on the other one, is something like this. But because of the way that they filmed it and the way that the old technology worked, yeah, this should not be, maybe this shot should, but a lot of the shots should not be as in focus. Like there's some where the background is literally out of focus, but then the stars are in focus, and it's that doesn't make sense. Yeah, it should look more like this. So some shots have this effect, and some shots just don't. So I think going through and affecting those, I had a really great example the other day, but now it's just eluding me. Stuff like that I think could go a long way. I like. Whoa, Leo, I've started enjoying Star Wars again because of fan edits. I can't wait to see yours. I think, I really think that's cool. I hope mine live up to the expectations that they've kind of been set to. Which line are you using for Han? It's all right, trust me, or it's all right, I can see a lot better. Probably it's all right, I can see a lot better. I think that's a funnier one. And that just feels like a Han Solo thing. All right, we can go to the sequel trilogy in our last 15 minutes. Cover the films that need the absolute most work in the last 15 minutes. That's a good idea. These should be overviews, mainly. Here's an edit that I have done. Don't know what's here. Don't remember. It's been a hot second since I've opened 7. But for 7, it's going to require a big... Oh, man. Look at my bad art. Okay, we don't need to look at that anymore. Okay, so... For episode 7 overview, we're going to go through the massive structure rechange. This is not an original idea. I kind of want to share this edit, but I cannot claim it as my idea, which is removing Starkiller Base firing not in the middle, but at the very end to kind of set up a Felix M says, dude, that concept art was dope. Yeah, I could show it to you guys real quick, but it's so bad. The main idea here is, what if Kylo Ren fought a Jedi right at the beginning? So Lor San Tekka comes out, and then Finn would get there, and then this Jedi would be like, oh my gosh, I gotta do something. Right? So then he challenges Kylo Ren to a lightsaber duel. The main plot points that I would want to hit with this are, one, we get to see like a prequel style duel right off the beginning. Then we would get to see like Kylo Ren being super brutal at the beginning. But then we would get an explanation for how I'm going to set up the Jedi in the sequel trilogy. Now, I will say that this edit is not necessarily like something I can guarantee like will happen. It's something I really want to happen. It's a pie in the sky kind of thing, and I have a lot of the pieces in front of me. but it would be to take Jedi's academy and have them go into hiding instead of having an Order 66 version 2. Like, I don't want Order 66 version 2. I want Luke to go from Return of the Jedi, where he's the last of the Jedi will you be, to he actually built something. And out of fear of losing what he built, he created contingencies so that when the First Order took power and he saw that Ben Solo betrayed, he said, okay, you guys have to all go to this secret location and wait for me to give you the all clear. He would then travel to the island, not giving the all clear for months and months, and the Jedi would be incredibly loyal to them. Although, an academy is going to have bright students and loyal students, and then the academy is going to have students who try and do things themselves. So this Jedi would want to help Luke regardless of what Luke says, kind of betray his teachings a little bit, and he would reveal that the Jedi are in hiding, and stuff like that. Well, hey, I'm glad you agree with my Luke take. That's cool. The idea here is that this fight would set up that they are in hiding, and we might not see him here, but Han Solo later on would also set that up, and it would just be like Luke had many pupils, and he had trained many people. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Back to what I was saying though, was we're gonna move Starkiller Base to the very end, so it's going to fire and kill the New Republic at the very end. We're gonna build up to, will the good guys win in this version? Is it like A New Hope? And the answer is no. I want to make Jakku 1,000 times more original. I've come up with some ideas looking at the original concept art. I was also a part of the Jedi or the Fixing Disney Star Wars team, and they did a lot of really cool things, adding like blue foliage. I think adding blue foliage of like weird alien plants throughout the planet would be really cool. But I think also doing like rivers of oil would be really cool, and you could see that like rainbow effect in it. Just if you have any ideas for Jakku, you can join our Discord, and there's a whole little section where you can just throw out ideas, because I'm still in the brainstorming phase. I haven't really locked ideas on that. I think Nema Outpost, where Rey has to buy and sell goods, would be a really cool place to be like if it's a desert planet or a junk planet, as I think it should be. I think it should like quadruple down on the junk planet. I think Nema Outpost could be like a really cool oasis, and kind of trying to add foliage to every shot. It would be like a pain to track every shot, but if we can fix these over time, then let's do it. And it'll just be edit by edit, chisel by chisel. The Starlight version, I'm blanking on the guy who made this one, but that version is incredibly it is incredibly inspirational for me. I will definitely be using a lot of ideas, concepts, and whatnot from that. Let's see. Yeah, there's already some things I'm implementing. Here's a quick edit where like I'm trying to give Han Solo a New Republic emblem to kind of be like, oh my gosh. Sci-fi fan 2109 says, if you'll check your Discord DMs after this is over, I got some stuff to share with you. Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to DM me on Discord all the time. Like, that's a great place to reach me. But yeah, I'm gonna try and make Han feel like he is still a part of his government, that he's not just like smuggling, which is an illegal thing to do, that he built a government and that he respects the laws that came out of it, even if it's not like great, if it's still a very flawed organization and government. But yeah, trying to do this thing. This is not a great shot, but like, yeah, it would look more like this, where he was a pilot instructor. If I can squeeze in some kind of line where Poe says that Han trained him, that would be cool. That would be really cool. Like, yeah, everyone who flies for the New Republic was trained by Han. I don't know. Something like that could go a long way to show Han's legacy as a part of the New Republic instead of what we have now. So we'll have that restructure. Is this what I think it is? Oh, this is a scene of the Sithari fixing all of that. The Sith prophecy and foreshadowing for Palpatine. Adding a Senate shot. If I can add a shot, there's a scene I want to get where two senators are debating whether they should actually fight the First Order or not. I'm going to just continue to speed through. Episode 8 is very, very, very far. I'll be adding one of my big goals that I really want to do is I want to restore the deleted scene with Phasma. I think that would be really cool. Man, it would be really, really difficult to talk through all the edits that I have. So I'm going to kind of just go off my brain real quick, because if I scrub around, we'll be here for a year and a half. Rey will actually train. The Battle of Dakar will have a bunch of band-aid fixes. Just anything that I'm like, I have a military buddy who loves talking about that battle in the sense that he hates that battle. He's like, every move is bad. So if every move is bad, I would like to be like, okay, what is the best band-aid fix I can do? One of the things is the bombers are like destroyed in a freak accident, and so what if they weren't? What if the enemy just made a calculated attack? Y'all have seen that edit, or if you haven't, that edit's on my channel, where the bombers actually attack. I want to kind of add to that a little bit more. Luke has a major character change. This is not an original idea to me. This came from a guy named Ivan Ortega, but his idea was that Luke didn't go to the island to he wasn't like, oh, I want the Jedi to die, but no, he went to the island to meditate and to think about a way to bring Ben back to the light side. And I think that could work here too. That Luke would go to the island in order to meditate and trying to think of a way for the Force to the Force, give me an answer on how to save my nephew. I broke him. Help me save him. And then the Force gives Luke Rey. I think also kind of using episode 8 to set up and world build a little bit on Kylo Ren's past. This would be one of the biggest departures from the canon. My edits don't necessarily need to rely on the canon, but one thing I know I'm going to depart is the timeline of events. I think it's really important that Kylo Ren is Kylo Ren for the past 6 months, where it's kind of implied that he's been Kylo Ren for years. My main thought there is that if Kylo Ren has been Kylo Ren for 6 months, it doesn't make Leia and Han, they don't separate for like years upon years, and they're not like divorcees for years and years. This is a very recent thing that has happened. It also kind of adds to the Jedi in hiding, that kind of happens a little more naturally, and that they're not like waiting years and years in hiding. That it's been a long time, but it hasn't been forever. Luke would do a call to action at the end that would engage the Jedi into the war and would basically say the war is on. I have a very talented voice actor for Luke here. Yeah, the structure is completely changed here. Not as dramatic though as episode 9, which probably has some of the most work done, but also will have the most. Oh yeah, I do not want to show that scene. It is so not ready. But I'm glad it landed on this, because this is something I can share, where in episode 9, Anakin is going to be a major part of it. Let's see. New structure would be opening to the glacier battle, and actually adding in a ton of X-Wings and showing that the New Republic has bounced back. So, stuff like that. Let's see. Going through this really quickly. Trying to add... The biggest thing I need to do to this movie is just slow it down. Let's see. Yeah, the biggest thing I need to do to this film is just slow it way the heck down. That's kind of difficult, because that means you have to add new scenes and new things. So I'm going to do my best to add the Eye of Webbish Bog. I'm going to do my best to add like a Luke and Kylo Ren conversation to the beginning of the film, where Kylo Ren would have to confront Luke. One thing is, I kind of was inspired by Dune to make this like black and white. Also Thor Love and Thunder, where like everything on Exegol is now going to be black and white, with the exception of anything that emits light. So Kylo Ren's lightsaber, lightning, that will emit light, but everything else just loses color. It's a pretty simple effect that goes a long way. Rey's story arc of anger, that's going to get a ton of stuff in it. Ideally, doing a lot of... there's the Ascended edit, which is made by HAL 9000. Super, super cool. Love this edit. I will be using a lot of ideas from this, including this idea of doing the like Luke and or this is a day for night. So the original shot wasn't at night. The original movie was at daytime, and they had some color artist came in and like made it look like it was nighttime. And as Rey comes to the idea that she has to like rejoin the fight, it becomes daytime again. Let's see. Yeah, there's Leia will have a purple lightsaber. Also not... I did actually have that idea, and it was in my first notes to do that, but a lot of people had that same idea, and they beat me to the punch, and they did it really, really well. So I'll probably just take that and run with it. But I want to be crystal clear. I didn't do this effect. I just added it in. But yeah, there's so much I'm going to do in this. Since I talked about the Jedi in the last two, in this edit, the Jedi would be all over. They would be at the beginning. They would not join Rey in her quest throughout the middle of the film, but at the end here, we would see them join in the battle. Finn, his story arc just has to be done. Like, you can't sideline a main character in the third act. That doesn't make any sense. So his story arc is going to lead him to a stormtrooper rebellion, where he is going to get on the communications, and he's going to lead a stormtrooper rebellion. Once I get a couple of scenes under my belt, like the wolf scene, like that's a pretty quick shot, but I'm still very much in the learning phase. Like I really appreciate that the people who think I'm really, really good at this, I'm kind of just figuring it out as I go. So there probably are more glitches, and there's probably there's a lot more I can learn in this world. So I want to at least, maybe move up a belt or a letter grade before doing the Stormtrooper Rebellion, but I could see building animatics for that really, really soon. So yeah, that's all 9 films. We can talk about TV shows in another, although it's really just Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Acolyte. I guess never mind. There's still a lot to talk about there. So yeah, I think this is a good place to end it. I really appreciate everyone who joined me here. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and